All right. Okay. So imagine being in my shoes. It's a Sunday night and you're attending a concert with your friends. You've been to many shows before in the past, but this night was particularly special because the musician playing in particular is playing a song that you've been waiting so long to see live for the very first time. And a few songs into the set, the crowd had already been opening up the pit and moshing for the artist as he is one half of an indie punk rock band. And then, before I knew it, the song that I've been waiting for all night comes on. The next thing I know, I'm in the center of the crowd, instructing everybody around me to open up the circle for the very first time ever. The bass drops, and you just start moshing in the most memorable mosh pit that you ever been in. But what is moshing exactly? What is a mosh pit? Well, today I'm here to teach you all about it, the origins of a mosh pit, what the art of moshing exactly is, and everything there is to know about mosh pits in today's live music and festival culture. I'm sure many of us in the class have been to a live music performance at some point, or at least to the minimum have seen videos from social media platforms where thousands of people are attending a concert or festival such as Rolling Loud or Lollapalooza. But regardless, if you have or have not been to a concert to know what a mosh pit is or what it looks like, by the end of my speech you will definitely be more in tune with the mosh pit culture as I go into the history and the progression of it, the positives and negative significances of it in today's music and concert culture, as well as the safety rules and expectations one should have if they find themselves on the outside of a pit. So let's start with the origins of a mosh pit. It may be somewhat common knowledge for some, but those who don't know what moshing is, which is also known as slam dancing, initially it would be where it came from. I'm sorry, where it came from initially. It would initially come from a practice in the heavy metal scene at like heavy metal rock shows, according to Gabriel Rich's scholarly essay "Caught in a Mosh Pit Culture, Extreme Metal Music, and Reconceptualization of Leisure." She would conduct research and make it known that, in general, extreme heavy she would make this known. So from extreme heavy metal music in general to the concerts they would have in the heavy metal scene is exactly where the art of moshing came from. As she mentions that metal fans understood metal music not only as an activity of a genre of music, but as a lifestyle as well, that they bleed into their everyday practices going through life. And so with the metal narrative being formed, with the metal narrative being a form of self-identification, establishing connections with others, releasing their anger and frustrations with anxiety in a very healthy way, as far as being in a pit. The heavy metal side of it would represent the more aggressive, loud, because there's metal and heavy metal. The heavy metal is more aggressive, loud, and the physical side of it, which would eventually be the creation of the mosh pit. But don't forget punk rock, of course, because that was also a heavy influence that was also mixed into how moshing became a thing, just as the just overall hardcore music, and this would be how mosh pits would manifest today. Author Bradford Scott Simon would make this clear in his article for the Journal of Popular Culture called Entering the Pit, Slam Dancing and Modernity. He talks about how slam dancing would be expected to have merged between the late 1970s and early 80s in popular areas like New York, London, LA. He also notes notable punk rock bands like Minor Threat, Bad Brains, The Misfits, as well as others would be such hardcore music groups that attracted slam dancing and among the crowd. And I should have said this before, but moshing by definition is a form of physical fun for fans where they slam and push each other in a circle at the center of a crowd, which is often nearby the stage. And we have different types of mosh pits as well. We have, the classic pogoing, type of moshing where it's like if you go on social media to like the Rolling Loud Instagram, that's pretty much the first thing that you're going to see. We also have the circle mosh pit. So basically, it's where everybody's running in a circle until the beat drops, and when the beat drops, everybody goes into the pit. And then we also have the Wall of Death. That's pretty much self-explanatory, but I will explain it. It's from where people stand on one side or the other, and when the punk rock artist signals to go ahead, people literally just start running at each other on both sides. And that's what I have so far, but I will talk about the positive significances and the negative significances of moshing in today's culture. So the main one for positive significance would be the fact that it brings people together. I know there's going to be a lot of people who don't understand why people mosh, because it's like, oh, these kids are just like doing like senseless violence toward each other. They don't really care about the music, but it's so much more than that, because literally the pit was created for people to express themselves in a safe or in a very healthy environment, to where everybody's doing the same thing. And it just brings people together, because nowadays we have people collaborating together, having like Instagram group chats, having people meet each other and go to events to where they have like conductors in the pit and all that kind of stuff. Which brings me to the negative side of it, which is why this actually happened in recent years, because as you know, with there was like accidents in the past, but the more notorious one in our recent years is Travis Scott tragedy at the Astro World Festival. And I want to reiterate right now that from what happened there was a surge. Yes, it may have been a factor that people who were moshing may have not have been careful about looking after others, but it's not the main reason why what happened. And I just want to, I don't support Travis Scott or whatever happened over there. I hope, like, I pray for the families who were affected and all that kind of stuff, but I just wanted to reiterate that. And another negativity is just like, it's you don't even have to be a rocket scientist to know that going in there is just like chaos. Like, people get like cuts and bruises or whatever, but if you're like a music lover like I am, you really live in the moment to do that kind of stuff. And I would like to show a couple of videos of that I have from recent concerts I've been to in the past. This one, this was not this one, but the one I'll go back to is my very first mosh pit that I've been into. As you can see, it's very chaotic. And then that's typically what it is. And then I'll end, but the last one I wanted to show you is a recent one that I've been to, which is my story that I brought up. It's getting ready to start the next song, and it's gonna cut to the right really sharp, so just look out for that. And it cuts to the right, and then there's the pit. And so basically that's all what it is. And I will end here. So thank you for listening, and I will be perfecting my speech later on. Thank you.
Good job. Just so you know, you are a little bit over 9 minutes. So, just for reference, I think it was like around the part I didn't want to like interrupt, of course, but it was around the part where you're talking about Travis Scott that I think it cut about, just to try to help you. But I think that your topic is very like interesting, because I don't think that other people would think to talk about a mosh pit type situation. So I think it's like a good topic just for the sake of not being dry. And I can definitely tell that you have a passion for music. I think that, yeah, you did a pretty good job. Just maybe work a little bit on like the organization of the whole thing at the end there, but I think it's pretty good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.